Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're here with Marcus Cantarsi, the brains and operations behind both Shenron's Lair and the Dalen Mack Tournament of Power. So in today's video, guys, we're talking about everything you need to know going into the TOP, and that's just not the TOP, that's the entire weekend at Vegas. It's going to be the biggest weekend of Dragon Ball Super ever for like an event weekend. So Marcus, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little about your card gaming history, and we'll get going from there.
All right, what's up, guys? My name is Marcus. I run the popular website and team Shenron's Lair. We're a pretty successful team. Very happy to be a part of it. Grew to be a really good thing. Happy to have people like Joey on there. In the past, I've played card games like Naruto and Yu-Gi-Oh! A little bit, but nothing really major. Just been a big fan of Dragon Ball all my life, and when this new card game came out, I was like, I gotta get into it. And that's kind of how I came into the scene, and I took it really seriously. I tried to be as best as I can, similar to how Goku does it. And yeah, that's where we are.
Yeah, man, and that's no joke. Like, several wins, several third place finishes as well. So make sure you note that when you think about Marcus. But now Marcus is kind of taking this approach as like a tournament organizer. I know he still wants to play, but he also wants to organize and host tournaments. So Marcus, why don't you tell me like how you and some of the other guys at the quote unquote admins of Shenron's Lair wanted to, or why you guys wanted to get into tournament organizing?
Yeah, well, I originally started Shenron's Lair kind of as a community resource, and since day one, I've always been giving back to the community, whether it's writing articles, tournament reports, or even like the monthly giveaways, if you guys remember that back in the day. And so I've always been involved to do something, and I figured the next step would be to just kind of be a TO. And I've traveled to like a lot of events all over with many different TOs, and I always felt like there was one thing that was short. It could have been perfect, but this went wrong, or this could have been better. So I feel like maybe I could do that. I could offer that because as a player, we know what we go through, and so maybe I could perfect that and bring players a really nice tournament. So I think we are like the first players that are going to turn into TOs, and I know at the TOP, whether you're competitive or casual, I know it's going to be a great time that weekend.
Yeah, that's awesome. I really think that player perspective that you mentioned that you obviously have, being a player in different card games for so long, I think that perspective when it comes to tournament organizing is actually going to be super beneficial, because like you just said, I mean, we've all been in tournaments where rounds weren't starting on time, or things could went a little bit more smoothly, or there could just be more being done there. And we are going to talk about some of those things at TOP, why it's going to be a bit of a different tournament experience. But before we get into that, I want to know how you guys kind of started the idea of TOP. Like, how did that come into fruition?
Yeah, so I was invested into being a TO already, and I had some plans to run a couple tournaments myself locally in California. And then I kind of got word of mouth info that this TOP is going to happen, and I figured that, hey, maybe I could bring my skills to the TOP event and help Dalen host that, and kind of use that in conjunction with Dalen also being new to the scene. We could all work together to kind of put on a really good show for the players. And so at Nationals, I went up to Dalen and I talked to him about it. It seemed like all our ideas aligned. We both have, the same views, the same culture. So I think it was a perfect fit, and that's kind of how we got it to be.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, just from my perspective, I couldn't be happier with Marcus and the Shenron's Lair guys working with Dalen, like two groups of people that just have incredible visions for the game. So we're going to get to talking about how this is going to be an awesome tournament experience in just a minute. But before that, I know you guys went really hard to work in a lot of aspects, one of which was working with Bandai and Magica to get the regional to work around the TOP. So do you want to talk about that process a little bit? Like, and first of all, major props to you guys for working through with them, and major props to Bandai for, working with us as well. So you want to talk about that experience a little bit?
Yeah, it was a crazy experience, actually, because, nobody would want to schedule an event and compete against each other at the same day, let alone the same place, you know,
Right.
like in Vegas, both events. Yeah, it was kind of a disaster, really. But, you know, we were able to find some wiggle room between both parties, and we kept in contact. We kept trying. We kept giving each other info, being very transparent with the process. And Carta Magica was very friendly and working with us. And I think we were also very friendly working with them, and they really liked that. They saw that in us. And so eventually, just one day, we were like, hey, you know, the tournaments are coming up. We got to find a solution to this. And Alex from Carta Magica said, all right, let me get back to you. And he just came back to us with a solution, and it just worked out for both of us, where we're going to have a regional on Friday and the TOP on Saturday. And after we posted that, a lot of players, you know, that were traveling said that they were coming in Saturday and they were disappointed with the switch. And so to accommodate them, Bandai threw another regional on Saturday to help those guys out too. So we're definitely trying to cover all corners and make everybody happy in this process. It seems like it's going to work out.
That's awesome. And, you know, again, this is going to be the biggest weekend probably ever for Dragon Ball Super, you know, an event Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So how would you recommend like a Vegas goer that weekend navigates the big Dragon Ball Super weekend?
Yeah, so it is, yeah, for sure the biggest events weekend in Dragon Ball history. I mean, you're going to have theoretically 3 major events going on, and lots of side events and drafts and all that stuff too. But if I were to go to Vegas, you know, the plus play to Vegas,
A major big brain play
weekend, yeah, is you want to attend the regional on Friday, you want to go compete, do the best that you can, and that's on Friday. Then Saturday, you want to sign up for the regional as well, but you want to go play in the TOP. And then after you're done playing in the TOP, you want to go back to the regional and pick up your entry promos, and you get the plus that way as well. And, you know, if in the TOP you're not doing so hot and you decide that you want to go play in the Bandai side events and, you know, maybe participate in a draft, that's all great too. So you're going to have the options. So it's going to be great, because if you're doing well in the TOP, that's awesome, because you're going to get some amazing prizes. And if you're not doing so hot in the TOP, well, then you could just go pick up some promos or play in some cool side events and have a good time that way.
So Marcus, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you got the con pass for Vegas for the Bandai regional, you get free entry to both the Friday and Saturday event. Is that right?
Correct.
All right, awesome. Yeah, so what Marcus is saying is absolutely the best way to do it. Sign up for the Friday and Saturday regional. Go get your entry prizing for Saturday later, but make sure you come play in the TOP, because you really get the best of both worlds. You know, for Friday, you have the shot to get your Nats invite. You also have your shot to do it on Sunday in the side events, especially the draft event. And then on Saturday, you're getting free entry stuff no matter what. So like Marcus said, go get it later and then come play in TOP, because TOP, you're playing for thousands of dollars of cash prizing. So the layout is $10,000 split amongst the main event for Top Cut, and then $6K for team prizing. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Perfect. Just want to make sure I have all the numbers right. So Marcus, now we'll get into talking about how exactly you guys have the vision to make this like a different type of tournament experience. So why don't you give us like kind of maybe some of your brief ideas, and then we'll kind of get into them a little deeper as we go through them.
All right. Well, we have a lot of ideas, that's for sure. And we're always thinking about what we can do to just create a fun atmosphere. Like Dalen has a opening ceremony in mind. That's going to be like a 30-minute ceremony where he has some really cool stuff in plan. And I can't comment on any of that, but there will be an opening ceremony that's going to be a really cool thing.
Just know it's going to be hype.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I kind of want to say it, but never mind. I should.
But
say
you can't. You can't.
Yeah, okay.
They'll see when they get there.
Yeah, but it's gonna be really, really cool. So just the opening part is gonna be cool, but throughout the event, we're gonna have some like amazing side events. We're gonna have a Waffle House where you want to go there to check out the waffles and more. We're gonna do lots of giveaways. We're gonna have just an overall really fun time, and yeah, I think everyone's gonna like it. The stream is going to be really cool. I could talk about the stream a little bit, where we're going to have 2 streams going on. So we're going to have 2 feature matches going on and alternate between them. We're gonna have projector screen that displays both matches, so like people can see. If you're just a spectator in the area, you can watch the stream on the big screen. Yeah, it's gonna be a really fun event.
Yeah, watching the stream at the event itself was actually a really cool feature that Top Cut Events did at the Chicago Regional. So the TOP having it on a big screen, that's going to be even more sick. And I know you wanted to get specifically into certain side events. So, I mean, take the floor, explain what you want to explain with those, and let's hear it.
Yeah, so we're gonna debut a brand new like side event mode. We're calling it the Zeno mode, where I'm gonna share this graphic. It might be up by the time this video is done. We're gonna create a new game mode where it's just like Dragon Ball. You're playing regular old Dragon Ball, but at the beginning of every turn, you're going to roll a dice, and based on what you roll, a certain effect is gonna take place until the end of that turn. And then when it's the next turn player, they roll the dice and they get a special effect. So you're gonna alternate between these crazy effects that's gonna cause lots of fun, lots of chaos. It's going to add a little bit of RNG to the game, but it's definitely going to add a ton of fun to it. And we're going to have these we're going to have these like 8-man win-a-box tournaments on the side. We're going to have a 32-man pod console tournament on the side as well, where you're going to be able to pick the console of your choice that you want to win.
That's
so
awesome.
Whether it's a PS4, Xbox One, or Switch, whichever console you want, we're going to get that for you. And we're going to have these console tournaments like running non-stop too. So like as soon as we get 32-man pods going, like we're gonna fire another one. So it's gonna be a crazy weekend for prizing, that's for sure. There's gonna be prizes going left and right.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine playing in a console tournament, which is something that people have been asking about for a very, very long time, since like the beginning of Dragon Ball OP, and then having your option of console, like that's honestly really sick. So that's really, really cool. I'm personally super excited for the Zeno mode challenges, like just rolling a dice and then saying like, oh, all of your battle cards gain plus 10k double strike for the turn. Like I don't know if that's one of the rules, but like that just seems like super cool. Like it does add like a lot of chaos to the format, and I think that's one of the really cool things the TOP is doing, having a format like that, having a format like an open banless teams. It's different, it's fresh, it's new, and I'm really, really excited about it. So Marcus, I think we're getting into closing this up a little bit. I think we've given everyone a lot of info. Is there anything else you want to touch on before we wrap it up?
Yeah, about the side events with the Zeno mode, it is going to be a lot of fun and stuff, but if that's not your thing, you don't have to play in that type of a side event. We're going to have the option to play both regular side events, regular 8-man win-a-box, or you could sign up for the Zeno version as well, where it's just, crazy fun. So, if you're a really competitive player and you want to play the straight game, you can play that. If you want to have some fun, you can play Zeno mode. It's all up to you.
Awesome. Guys, I'm so excited for the Tournament Power Weekend, man. I cannot wait for this tournament. I can't wait to see you guys all there. Marcus, any closing statements?
Yeah, make sure you come out to the biggest weekend in Dragon Ball. It's not just the regional, but the TOP as well. We're hoping everybody signs up for it and we have like a really big showing. I think it'll not only be a really good thing for the history of the game, but it will also show the upper ups, right? Of like, hey, maybe this could set the bar for how an event should be going forward. And I'm really excited, and I hope that we deliver a really cool event for you guys.
Awesome. Marcus, thank you so much, and we will see you next time.